Hello, my name is Mark Struthers, and welcome to this Groove 3 course on various plugins made by PSP Audioware. I want you to think of this course as a parallel course to the other Groove 3 course that has been produced, and in that particular course we looked at effects such as compression. Well, in this course we're going to look at effects also, but we're going to focus on things like reverb and delay. And so to get started, I'm going to look at a reverb, but this particular reverb plugin is really focused on being used with the piano, hence its name PianoVerb. Now in actual fact there are two versions of PianoVerb, PianoVerb 1 and PianoVerb 2. I bet you would have worked that out. We'll start off with PianoVerb 1, and I'm only doing this because, well, it's free. As long as you've got an account with PSP, you'll get this version, PianoVerb 1, as I say, for free. And you can't get any better than that. Now I've got a song I'm working on at the moment, and this particular track is a piano track. It's a VSTi, and I'm running it here within Cubase 7. It's a VSTi called PianoTech, which, to be fair, does have its own built-in effects. So what I'll do is I'll play it through first of all, without integrating PSP's PianoVerb. What we'll do is we'll just listen to PianoTech with its built-in effects, and then we'll remove them, and then this way we can compare with PianoVerb. So I'll start playback then, and as I say, you should be able to hear some reverb anyway. It's the built-in reverb for PianoTech. Okay then, so a simple chord progression, and that MIDI file has been driving PianoTech, which as I said has its own effects. Now if I just open up its user interface, and then if I drop down here to where it says effects, I'll deactivate the delay and the reverb. Okay, done. Now just so I've got some more room on my screen, I'm going to move PianoTech up here, and then what I'll do is I'll play the beginning of this again, so that you can get used to its sound without any effects applied. Here we go. As you can hear, it's still a nice piano sound, but of course it is very dry. Now we don't need to hear it all again, so I'll just pause playback. So now my next step will be to integrate PSP's PianoVerb, and because this is a MIDI channel, I'm just going to go down to my inserts here, and then I'll select PSP Audioware, and there you can see it, PSP PianoVerb. Great then, a fairly innocuous looking user interface made up of various rotary dials. Now remembering of course that this is free, it still does a great job. Now I think these rotary dials are fairly self-explanatory, but for a sense of completeness I'll very briefly talk you through them. You've probably noticed already that once you open it up, you'll see the default preset open. And set like this main rotary dial here at the top left, well this is the decay time. And by adjusting this percentage value, you can set the time for your reverberation decay. And setting it to a lower percentage value, 0% and up, will achieve a very short reverb time. And the higher you take this up to 100%, then of course you will get more reverb time. Unfortunately, you can't tempo sync this, so you're going to have to do it by ear. Now just below our decay time is this mix dial. Once more, this is a percentage dial too, and this allows you to blend in how much of your reverb time you want. Lower values, of course, mean you get much more of a dry signal. So even if you set your decay time to be quite high, if you set your mix dial to be quite low, then you are going to hear more of the dry signal. Yes, you will still hear the wet signal, but it won't be as prominent. Let's move over to this tune dial. By default, and probably what you would expect, the string system reverberation for PianoVerb is tuned to concert pitch. But should you need to retune this because, well, maybe you've recorded a piano, an acoustic piano, that isn't in perfect pitch, well, by adapting this tune dial, then the string system can be retuned within a range of plus or minus 100 cents. And connected with this tune dial is this dial up here, this one labelled transpose. And this dial allows you to transpose up or down by a couple of octaves, in that you can move up or down by 24 semitones. Now bear in mind, this won't retune the piano. What this is actually doing is changing the string system reverberation, and it's that gets transposed. And the effect that this is going to have on your piano sound, well, it means if you reduce this, then you'll get a more natural sounding reverb added to the piano. It becomes less resonant as you dial this down. Whereas if you go the other way, if you take this dial up, then you'll hear much more resonance added to the reverb. We'll have a listen to this in a moment. I just want to point out the other parameters too. You've got bypass down here, that speaks for itself, I'm sure. Just up and to the right is this detune dial. This is independent of your tune control to the left. If it's set to 0%, which it is at the moment, then you aren't going to be detuning the sound. The more you drive it up to 100%, then you'll hear the detuning take effect. Again, we'll listen to this in a moment. To the right here is this damping dial. Adjusting this means you can damp out the higher frequencies in the reverberant signal. So if you don't want an overly bright reverb, then you would take this up to 100%, or somewhere in between. If it's set at 0%, then you get a bright reverb sound. And then finally down here, we see this output dial, which means, should you need to, you can boost the output by plus 12 dB, or you can cut it right down to minus infinity. And then running horizontally across the bottom, you can see that you can either load up or save some presets, or a bank even. And then moving to the right, you'll see in this central textual area that we are set at the default preset at the moment, but should we want to choose from the 6 available presets, well, click here, and there you'll see them all. You can use these as a starting point, adapt them to your particular song, and then should you want to, so you can always come back to it, save it as a preset or a bank, so you can call it up at a later time. Just to the right, you'll see these arrows. Clicking on here means you can scroll through the presets, and the left arrow means you can do that in reverse. If you want to set up a couple of different presets, or maybe set up one preset and then adapt it so that you can evaluate which is the best, well, you can set up an A/B here. Okay, now I'm going to choose a different preset. I'll go for this one, Bright, and we'll start playback so you can hear what this preset sounds like. Remembering, of course, we've taken off the integrated effects within PianoTech. And what I'll do is, whilst it's playing through, I'll adjust these dials. Here we go. Okay, so that's a good run through PianoVerb and what it can do for your piano sounds. So I'll finish up now, but in the next tutorial, I'm going to look at another version of PianoVerb, PianoVerb 2. Unfortunately, you will have to pay for that one, but it does offer you much more scope. So I'll see you in a moment.